Okay, let's talk a little bit about what's going on here with Godzilla and how to maybe draw him a little bit more efficiently. So something I want to talk about really quickly is kind of Shin Godzilla right here, and he's got a bit of a hamburger head sort of thing. So I always think about it in the sense like this. So I'm thinking about like curvature above, right? Kind of like flat around here, and then he's got like the bottom bun of a hamburger on that side. That's kind of personally the way I look at him right now. When he kind of the way he has that's literally the way I'm thinking about it. And then obviously the neck goes pretty, it gets bigger as it goes downward. We're thinking in these like very simplistic, curved, long shapes. And then from there, we're mostly, I'm thinking a lot about just kind of, the teeth in themselves in a different way. So, like, if I look at Shin Godzilla's teeth are going to be like varied in size, right? So, right here, they're a little bit overlapping. I think they're trying to take teeth from like anglerfishes and stuff like that, where they're popping out. They're very thin, right? That's a huge thing. They're very, very thin for his type, and they're kind of it just looks like thorny when it's inside of Shin's mouth. Otherwise, I mean, you could have the giant like T Rex, menacing, crushing, bone crushing teeth, and that is completely cool to use. But for Shin is different. For Shin, like I said, he's got this overlapping thin kind of thing going on. It's all very very thin and very I would say it's pretty cool and unique. Um, for kind of a giant monster design, normally they kind of have like these giant bone crushing teeth. I don't know if you know this or not. Let me know if you know this is in the back. By the way, that's just kind of in the background there. But we're focused on Shin right here. Shin Godzilla always came off as kind of a mixture of an Attack on Titan character and Godzilla. He's got this kind of exposed gill going on around there, and that gill essentially is just kind of stretched open muscle, right? So we have the sternocleidomastoid right here, which is a muscle that goes from the back of the neck, back of the neck, all the way to the pit of the neck, and then over here you have something completely different, right? You have this opening right there for like a gill, or like I said, you see some of the musculature popping through. Um, you know, moving over here now as well, down along this area. His hands, he's got pretty small human-like arms compared to the other versions of Godzilla. His arms kind of like our Godzilla arms tend to be human-like, but these I feel more or they're more human-like. He's got kind of a dainty wrist compared to the rest of his arm. The arms they look more like I'm guessing zombie-related arms, right? That's kind of what I take from it. Over here along the side, let me see. So as far as kind of like how to shade him, he's got like a lot of rocky texture. So a lot of this is just small, thin lines, kind of curve, line. I'm grabbing. This is a ballpoint pen, by the way. So line, and the only purpose to these. Hey, sorry to disturb the flow of the drawing, but really quick announcement. If you want to draw Godzilla from your mind, which is incredibly important, everybody wants, there is a guide for you below. So basically what I did was I created a very simplified form of Godzilla's head from the top, bottom, and side views, and I show you how to add detail to it. It is a complete guide to drawing Godzilla's head any way you want. I go over lighting, anatomy, and some other fun tips. Basically, this is going to be your 100% guide. It's the best thing I've ever made personally, and it's 100% free to download. Just go down below in the description, click it, download it. All right, let's get back into the drawing. These lines, this is to show the changes in the planes, right? It's the changes in like the direction of the form that we're seeing. And every time I'm drawing like a line, right, like these, I'm trying to express to the viewer that there's a change in form. So that would be a big part of that. That change in form is huge. I think it's incredibly important to, because as artists, right, we're trying to tell the audience something. That's pretty much our job, is to tell the audience to do um, a certain thing. And like, well, I'm sorry, not to do a certain thing, but we're guiding the eye of the audience. We're trying to make it make sense. So that's a very big part. Like, can someone look at your drawing and just kind of go, "Oh, okay, I can tell what's going on there," or "I can tell what that is." That would be goal one, right? And then just kind of avoiding any confusion, which is interesting too, because you don't really have to do that, which is funny. Um, right? I mean, you have to do that, but it's like it's such a thing you take for granted, right? The fact that the audience might not know what's happening. Thinking in simple shapes with him is incredibly important. I was gonna say, don't forget to check out the cool stuff in the description. There is a free Godzilla guide, and then there's a couple of other guides there you can purchase on head drawings for different kaiju. Um, and yeah, I'm gonna be updating probably once a week, I think, on this channel, but more so videos like this now. I notice these do better. People seem to want to learn, like, little tips and tricks and on kaiju's. So I'm gonna try to kind of get more and more of these types of videos out. But if you have any questions, now's the time, and I'm gonna use them in the next kind of the next tips session. I don't know what to say, but yeah, absolutely. One second. And if there's any other character that you want to talk about, obviously Godzilla is the most famous kaiju ever, and every variation of him and people within the Godzilla universe. Um, but I want to go over other stuff like Gigan. I want to go over various versions of other characters. So we gotta get that going as well. And follow me on my other social media, by the way. I'm posting a lot of general drawing tips over there. See how I'm going over here, and I'm kind of, another thing is I'd like to get like a slight gradation from down all to the top of his head. So top of his head over here should have the most contrast, right? We have the darker the mouth, the darker the eye, and by contrast, what do I mean by that? By contrast, I'm talking about the difference between light areas, like the whitest white, and the darkest dark. And I would say the darkest dark would be around here, 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 on the neck, here, right here in the armpit. What you're doing is, again, you're kind of accenting these points so that the viewer, it makes sense to the viewer more. And it gives a little bit of a punchy look. But again, as well, up here, that is the most, I would say the varied point would be way at the top there, right? Way at the top here is going to be the most different area. I was gonna sorry, the most difference between white and dark. Um, I like I said, if I could, I'd probably be shading a little bit more over here in the lower body, just to kind of throw a little like these lines over here. So I'm not totally finished with this, by the way, but just kind of showing you my thought process. But yeah, so that would be kind of a big part of that. So I'm only posting these videos here, so let me know kind of your thoughts on it. But that's kind of it. Write down your questions, and I'm going to answer them in the next video. So let me know what you think in general, and just kind of give me some idea of what you want to learn.
Okay, so that was amazing. You finished this lesson, but keep it going. Keep the art practice going by clicking this video right here. It's going to be within the same theme, and you want to keep it rolling to get better and better and better and get that art flow going. So click right here.